Kevin Kelley. Now, Larry Merchant, you have been quoted as saying that we are in the midst of a kind of golden era for smaller fighters, lower weight class fighters from the United States. Where in that pantheon of stars does Kevin Kelley fit?
Well, I look at them as little giants, Jim. And Kevin Kelley is one of those who are golden going on platinum, perhaps. He has the sort of nonstop personality and style that can energize any division. In fact, I fantasize a Kevin Kelley concentrate. You pour some water over him, and voila, you've got a heavyweight everybody can love. Speaking of which, everybody may not love Lennox Lewis. I happen to think that right now he's the best heavyweight out there. And if he isn't, why are American heavyweight champions tiptoeing around him as if he were radioactive?
Maybe they want to fight Kevin Kelley instead and enjoy that 100-pound weight advantage that Lennox was talking about in our opening tonight. Well, we're going to focus on Kelley first, and if you've never heard Kevin Kelley talk, get ready now to be overwhelmed.
I'm a people person. I just love to talk. I love to be with people. I love to know what's on their mind. And I'm almost like a guy that writes or a guy that sings, and he wants the crowd's reaction. He's trying to send a message across. I'm like a messenger. Boxing to me is only a tool I use to do what I want to do with it.
He's the P.T. Barnum of boxing, Kevin the Flushing Flash Kelley. His ascension to the top of the featherweight division is a breath of fresh air. Married, father of 4, Kelley offers to his kids the same wisdom and insight he gained from his parents. If you were lucky enough to meet Kevin Kelley, you'll never forget him or what he has to say.
You guarantee you ain't gonna have to worry about, am I gonna see Kevin Kelley? You're gonna see Kevin Kelley. You're gonna get to meet Kevin Kelley when you have to fight. Because Kevin Kelley's coming right at you. It's gonna be Kevin Mania going wild on you. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be immense. I want people to throw Kevin Kelley up when they're eating. I want them to see my face so much that they're gonna know that Kevin Kelley exists. Inside comes the Kevin Kelley pencil, a Kevin Kelley balloon. Kevin Kelley, Kevin Kelley, Kevin Kelley. We do.
We pay for everything.
We pay for
out of our own pockets.
It takes money to make money, we film. Everybody, everywhere. Okay, I found out from South Africa to China, I'm big over there. And what I do, I've made it my business to make it big there. I'm making my business do my marketing, to do my own marketing. I feel that I can't be contained. I have to be free. I have to let go. Once in a while, a heavyweight will come along and boxing will grab onto him. So this is Muhammad Ali. I felt since his era of boxing, he brought a lot of attention to the heavyweights, as Joe Louis did. Then coming along will be a lightweight fighter, which is far superior. And he really exemplifies what boxing really is. I always felt that if my fights were on a major network and people got a chance to know what Kevin is about, they knew my personality, and they knew that, well, he can do the job too, he can fight, I would steal the spotlight from every heavyweight out there. Too many guys wait till they're world champion to do something, or when they're multi-millionaire to do something. It's too late. How y'all doing? I'm one of them guys that use boxing as a tool to guide, to direct, to inspire, to bring focus into other kids' lives. I don't go in there and talk to them about boxing and being a fighter. I talk to them about life. I give them a wake-up call. Like the question I always ask the kids, I always go, who discovered America? Who discovered America? And they say Christopher Columbus. I tell them, see, you're not thinking. Nobody's thinking. Not let them think. I just teach the kids to think. If I could describe myself, the most happiest guy. I love comedy. I love to joke around. I just love being happy. You're gonna have a good day when you get around me. If you hang with me, you're gonna have fun. My mother used to say I was a sympathy sponge. I like all the people that can't do for themselves. We are here to help each other. Whose chair am I?
Kevin Kelley!
God has given me a gift, which most people take for granted. He's given me arms, he's given me a brain, and these tools, I'm gonna make the best of them.
In the sport of boxing, it's usually the heavyweights who draw the spotlight. But this featherweight with the enormous heart has a much bigger fight lined up than any you'll see in the ring. Bigger than championship titles, bigger than million-dollar paydays. It's a battle he fights with wit, charm, and inspiration, and one from which Kevin will always emerge as champion.
I'm a guy that is on this planet for one reason, and that's to leave a heavy impression on the people that I touch while I'm here. And that's what Kevin Kelley's story is about.
And given the fact that we're about a 2.5-hour drive down the Jersey Turnpike from New York City, the crowd tonight is loaded with Kevin Kelley friends, fans, and family members. You can see that he won the WBC featherweight title here on HBO this past December 4 in a terrific fight with Gregorio Vargas, the then reigning champion. Vargas has since moved up in weight to 130 pounds. Kelley now prepares to defend that title for the very first time. Behind him, a crowd of children, members of youth boxing programs from here in the Atlantic City area, will follow him toward the ring.
An interesting rivalry is developing, Jim, between the small giants, the little giants from the Southwest and California, and these who are growing up in the East. A couple of weeks ago, we saw one of those Southwesterners, Bam Bam Johnson, upset Junior Jones in the bantamweight division, and Kevin Kelley's opponent tonight, Benavides, thinks he can do the same thing. In fact, he is a stablemate of Johnson.
And there's a powerful connection there because Poison Junior Jones is a very close friend of Kevin Kelley's. They fought for years together at Madison Square Garden. And the young man who upset Jones and lifted his bantamweight title, John Michael Johnson, is trained and managed by the very same people who handled Kelley's challenger tonight, Jesse Benavides. The record for Kevin Kelley, 37-0, 26 knockouts. That is, on paper, the best record of any unbeaten reigning champion presently in the sport. And we mentioned the opponent is a veteran, 30-year-old Jesse Benavides from Corpus Christi, Texas. Spectacular amateur career, 3 National Golden Gloves championships. He has been close to professional world championships, but hasn't yet gotten one. In his best chance, he lost a 12-round battle for the 122-pound championship against Tracy Patterson March of last year. That was his only world championship challenge to date. The record for Jesse Benavides, veteran fighter, a southpaw like Kelley, 37 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 25 KOs. Like Kevin Kelley, he styles himself a boxer puncher. That is Tony Ayala Sr. rubbing the grease on Jesse Benavides, same man who carefully trained John Michael Johnson to his stunning upset victory over Kelley's close friend, Poison Junior Jones, 2 weeks ago in Vegas on the undercard of Moorer Holyfield. Tail of the tape, and you can see that Kevin Kelley enjoys a 3-inch height advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage over Jesse Benavides. Punch stat numbers, Larry.
Here's a profile of how active these fighters are, and the numbers are remarkably similar, as you can see. And that holds for the number of jabs thrown and landed as well.
Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
Kevin Kelley and Jesse Benavides will box tonight using the rules of the World Boxing Council. There is no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. You cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the last. Only the referee can stop the fight. And if a cut is caused by an accidental headbutt, and that cut causes the fight to be stopped, we will go to the scorecards if the 3 rounds have been completed. Before that, it's a technical draw. Jim.
Thank you, Harold. Right now, let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Atlantic City's Convention Hall here on the famous boardwalk of Atlantic City, New Jersey, where tonight, Main Events Incorporated, along with your undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser, proud to be your bud, presents World Championship Boxing. This first bout is presented in association with Garden State Boxing. It is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., and the World Boxing Council, WBC Supervisor at ringside, Mario Latraverse. The 3 judges assigned to score this bout on a 10-point must system are Malcolm Bullner, Horacio Castilla, and Shafiq Rashada. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, working for the 86th time in a world title bout, referee Tony Perez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get things started. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Featherweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the gold trunks with blue letters and weighing in at 126 pounds. He comes to us tonight from Corpus Christi, Texas, and brings an outstanding record of 37 victories, 25 by KO, only 3 defeats with 1 draw. He currently holds the NABF Junior Featherweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the challenger, German Jesse Benavides. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the teal trunks with yellow trim, also weighing an even 126 pounds. His professional record, also outstanding, 37-0, 26 by KO. He's from Flushing, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, defending his title for the first time, he is the undefeated WBC Featherweight Champion of the World, the Flushing Flash, Kevin Kelley.
Benavides, I just gave you your instructions before in the dressing room. 2 things you must remember: obey my commands, and most important, protect yourself at all times. Any questions? All right, check hands. Let's do it.
Benavides is a good little fighter. He's moving up in weight to the featherweight division. Can he handle a bigger, stronger, younger, and probably quicker champion?
Indeed, Jesse Benavides said to us in our meeting yesterday that he was not impressed with Kelley's punching power. Kelley said, he will be when I hit him. Two southpaws facing each other, so George, all of the standard rules that apply to a conventional fighter fighting against a southpaw go out the window here.
And you'll open up with the same amount of fear and uncertainties as you would have, as they present to other people. Fear of being on the wrong side. So tonight, each got that fear.
Both fighters tend to paw a little bit with the jab. Kelley's is perhaps the sharper of the two, but both use the jab more to set up other punches than as a constant scoring weapon.
Kelley is starting to initiate and decide that he's going to take the aggression.
Kelley throwing far more punches at this point than Benavides. We saw him leaping to try to get the left end behind that right jab. Right hook lead by Kelley.
Benavides is from that old school of keep your hands up, taste some of his punishment, and then go for the body.
So far in the first minute and a half of the bout, it has been mostly Kevin Kelley. He got in 1 body shot. And now Benavides starts to try to work to Kelley's ribcage. Kelley with a good right to the body.
Evidently, Kelley has been told by his corner, don't back up. Under any circumstances, keep yourself forward. So even when they're in the clinches, he establishes his right foot forward, doesn't move it backwards.
Benavides said that he expected Kelley to box him. So if Kevin styles himself the aggressor, then Jesse may be a bit surprised by that, and that's what's happening right now as Kelley drives Benavides into the ropes with a left. Not really a heavy punch, but enough to move Benavides back at that moment. Now Jesse tries to seize the aggressor's role himself. Benavides with a right to the body. And Kelley landed a short left inside, took a right in return from Benavides. So both fighters loosening up considerably in the final 30 seconds of round number 1.
Good round of boxing. Sit down. Come on, stay focused. Nice round of boxing. Good domination. Ready? Deep breath. Tee up for me. Come on, tee up for me. Stay focused here. You do a drive. You got this one? Look at me. No keep. Take that. Don't need it. Okay. See his left eye? All right. See his left eye? All right, his left eye is over the puffy. Okay, underneath here. Okay. Don't look at him when you're done. I want instant work. I want that Kevin Kelley speed, and I want that 5-inch reach. Okay? I want that Kevin Kelley speed and that 5-inch reach.
He's beginning to reach me, Chuchu. All right? So you got to get in close so you can get the right hook in there. Now, sometimes if he keeps his hand up, but you have the body so he can bring it down and then up. Here we go.
You got me?
He's nervous, baby. He's nervous. He's nervous.
What Tony Aiello said there suggests that perhaps they're trying to spring a trap on Kelley, trying to get him to think he's so dominant that he starts to reach in and then back him up with one good shot and change the dynamics of the fight.
Well, if they were playing possum in round 1, they did a pretty good job of it. Benavides threw only 11 power punches in the round and landed only 4.
Kelley did at the end of that round start a retreating move, and he had to pay for it in the latter part of the round. You got to stay aggressive.
Now Kelley coming forward again behind the jab, and for the moment landing it effectively. Down goes Kelley off a left hand by Benavides.
4, 5, 6.
Well, there's the classic flash knockdown.
Okay.
One punch. What happened, George?
He laid a trap, as I was saying, and he came over the right with his own left, and down went Kelley.
And now Benavides suddenly flurrying wildly as he tries to follow up on the damage he's done to Kelley.
Okay, break it up.
Kelley was knocked down in his championship bout with Gregorio Vargas. That was in the 9th round. But he had built up a big lead on points by that time. This is a different story coming in the 2nd round of the fight.
It's going to be all night overhand left by Benavides.
You think it'll land, George?
No doubt about it. These guys, when their jab is effective, Kelley's jab is really good when it's effective. When not, it's down by his hip.
Solid left hand by Kelley as his comeback continues here in round 2. Both fighters having their moments in a wild round 2 after a very cautious 1st round.
Kelley has done something, probably the best thing he's done all night. He's gone to the body once or twice.
Benavides with the uppercut. Kelley trying to stay tough and throw back at this point.
Kelley's found himself at a disadvantage because he's a boxer. There's no need for a fast, quick boxer like that to be in exchanging punches toe-to-toe. But he's established himself as the aggressor. Now he doesn't know how to get out of that identity.
Well, it looks as though he's hung up on a little macho thing here, George, because he wants to take that aggressor's role back from Benavides, particularly since Benavides knocked him down, but he's leaving himself open to Benavides' power punches.
That's true, and this is the only way that Benavides can be effective is these power exchanges.
Now Kelley stepping in behind the jab. Pretty good last minute and a half of the round for Kevin Kelley, but the knockdown in the 1st minute belonged to Jesse Benavides.
Okay, sit down.
Close your eyes.
Got careless?
Close your eyes.
I didn't give you water. That went in your mouth. I didn't give you that.
You all right now?
I want his nose wiped out.
All right.
I got careless. Okay. Look at me. I'm over here.
Wipe your nose.
Come on. Let's work. Keep that. Keep that.
Well, let's watch for the trap that Benavides springs here. Right over that lead right hand, the jab. And here you can see it again. Remember, Jim, when he told us that he was going to muscle up, they did some weight training before this fight because they were expecting something like this. Here you see Kelley coming back later in the round. The same thing they did with Johnson before he beat Jones. They try to make him stronger with more weight training than is customary.
More relaxation and let your hands go a little quick. Okay?
In the early rounds of Jones versus John Michael Johnson, Poison Jr. Jones's punch stat numbers dwarfed those of Johnson. The tale was somewhat misleading because Jones was expending a lot of energy to reach those numbers. Here, Kelley is flooding Benavides with punch stat numbers, but not necessarily gaining that big an advantage as Benavides again comes in behind the overhand left.
That's true. All the young fighters should establish, if you're gonna jab, keep that thing out there all the time. When you're resting your jab, keep that right hand up. Don't rest it. Rest from your jab with it down by your hip.
But fighters want to look stylish, and stylish fighters like Muhammad Ali and Ray Leonard were able to get away with holding that jab low, right?
For a long time. And you can be more effective holding it low if you are backwards, moving backwards. He's trying to be aggressive.
Benavides goes to his knees. Referee says that one was a slip, not a knockdown. Chopping left hands for Kelley landing. You get the feeling Benavides is willing to take punishment to get what he wants. What he wants is another shot at Kelley with his hands down.
This is time for corner instructions. Keep that hand up or jab. You got two. Now, when he was knocked down, not only did he get knocked down, but his leg was bent underneath him. That hurt. A lot of rounds, you don't have the bounce that you need to defend yourself if you're lightweight.
Trading punches against the ropes. Benavides pushing Kelley back and coming off the ropes. Kevin throwing the left very hard, missing twice. Good right to the body by Kelley. This drives Benavides back into the ropes. Again they trade. And Benavides has seemed to be the heavier punches, and Kelley backs up. Kelley's very proud of having won a physical war with Troy Dorsey. He calls it a battle in the trenches. Here he may be falling a little bit too much in love with his chances of using power against Jesse Benavides.
Yeah, he's making a powerful mistake, slugging it out. He's a good boxer. Why not use that skill? Why practice for so many years and then waste it?
So, still to come tonight, the main event, WBC Heavyweight Championship battle between the other heavyweight champion, Lennox Lewis of Great Britain, and Miami's Phil Jackson, a man with 27 knockouts in 31 bouts. That's yet to come after this WBC Featherweight Championship battle.
You're playing, and it's the second round now. You got kills. Okay? Remember, that can go that quick. So, you got me? When you're on the inside, I want this hurt, like when you hurt me. But what do we do with our shoulders? Come on, okay? What do we come back to?
Yeah, Phil, that's too lax, too lazy, sir.
What do we come back to every time? Hello?
Jab.
Okay. In his face.
Right, seconds out.
Don't pose.
Right now, fellas, I'm thinking of all the champions who have lost their titles in the last 6 months. Norris, Chavez, Carbajal, Bo, Holyfield, Junior Jones. Unbelievable string of upsets.
Kevin Kelley insisted that he had paid attention to that, had it on his mind, was determined not to let it happen to him. Good short left inside by Kelley. Another short left by Kelley lands, and Benavides backs up.
Benavides was able to get a little left to the body that hurt Kelley also. almost went unnoticed.
Kelley landed that long left hand over the top again, George, just as you said he'd be able to do all night.
Kelley should try to reestablish himself as a boxer, bounce a little with the legs, get this guy to come forward to him a little bit. He's been the aggressor too long. It's too much energy, and you can't go 12 rounds like that.
Hard right hand by Benavides. And Kelley begins to absorb punishment to the body as he stands against the ropes.
A lot of the reason Kelley is on the ropes, he's tired. He's been the aggressor. It takes a lot of energy, 20 miles of road work just to go forward for 2 rounds. At some point, you go backwards. It's natural for him.
And if Benavides had been worried about trying to solve the puzzle of Kevin Kelley's boxing, George, he must regard this as an enormously pleasant surprise.
Very pleasant. Kelley's in a house that he's not it's a strange house to him. He doesn't need to be in a fight like that. Benavides, everything is going perfect for him.
I know you don't like weight training for boxers, George. What do you think of Jesse Benavides' statement that 8 weeks of weightlifting would be the difference for him here tonight?
It makes a big difference, but when you're in a lot of weights, you need every bit of speed you can get. Sometimes you get a knockdown, but maybe 10 rounds later before you can get another knockdown because of the weights and the way they stock your shoulders up.
So far, it doesn't appear to have hurt Benavides. He's getting more and more fluid as the fight goes on, landing with more and more frequency, or so it appears from here.
And he's doing a good job, but I would suspect that a good judge would think that Kevin Kelley is a hit on point. But then I'm not Harry Letterman.
Well, you know, how would they score the knockdown round? That's a new question in the sport. Round 4 coming to a close. So far, an action brawl between Jesse Benavides and Kevin Kelley.
Harold Letterman, how do you have it after 4 rounds?
Larry, 39-37, 3 rounds to 1. Kevin Kelley and a real barn burner. Larry, the punches that hurt you the most are the ones you don't see coming. And the problem with a southpaw is that they only give you half the body. They're slanted halfway away from you, and you don't see the left hand coming, and that's what hurt Kevin Kelley in round 2. I think Kevin fought back enough to offset a 10-8 round, and it was a 10-9 round, but I think Kelley's got a slight lead. He's out fighting him.
I agree.
Now, Jesse B. Listen, Jesse
I
B.
guess that makes us good judges, George.
Judge then. Judge Owen.
In my wayward youth, gentlemen, I always thought that everybody from featherweight division on down was trying to out Willie Pep, doing more dancing and feinting than real punching. But that's changed a lot over the last quarter century, especially with the fighters from Mexico and the Mexican-American fighters. They're among the most skilled and the hardest hitting punchers in boxing.
All right, break.
So we know what happened to them. Now, what about your waywardness as a youth? Still there, or that changed too?
Well, they've convinced me from Michael Carbajal straight up.
Kelley chasing Benavides now as round 5 begins. Benavides beginning to swell somewhat over the right eye.
I can't understand why Kelley's corner is not telling him to get his right hand up. The only thing's happening to him, he's being caught with a lazy jab. Nothing else beyond that.
Well, if he does this in the gym every day, George, it's going to be tough for him to hold it up tonight, right?
You're right. You're right. You just can't switch boats sometimes in the middle of the street.
Now Kelley switches momentarily to a conventional stance, but doesn't throw a punch out of it. Slower slower so far than were rounds 3 and 4. Benavides appearing to take a little bit of a rest here.
He's playing counterpuncher, which is smart. Wait, he'll leave himself open like Larry said earlier. He said traps.
Round 5, WBC Featherweight Championship battle. Kevin Kelley, the Flushing Flash, in the green is the title holder. Jesse Benavides in the gold trunks from Corpus Christi, Texas, is the challenger.
The guys from Texas, they just don't respect the guys from the East Coast as tough fighters. They believe they're skillful and slick, but they have a tendency to just run past their power.
Benavides sure to have gotten a confidence boost from the victory of his stablemate, John Michael Johnson, over Kevin Kelley's Madison Square Garden stablemate, Poison Junior Jones, 2 weeks ago.
Put me to sleep. Sit down. I'm not boxing. Put me to sleep. Look at me. Hey, you spit. Spit. Get up. I got a punch of combination. Put me to sleep. Got me? Put me to sleep. You're looking at him and you're posing. You're not letting 4, 5, 6 go. Okay? You're just waiting for him to do something. Are you mentally gone tonight? No, just stick your butt. Yo, stick your butt up and move this guy back. I don't want this guy coming forward. I want him going back. I want a jab in his face. You understand me? Yeah, I'm not landing. That's why I'm not throwing. Who's talking here? You are. You're the man. I want you in his face, and I want you letting your hands go, and I want to see that Kelley speed. And when you're not...
Very important, Jesse. You got to keep boxing, baby. Okay. Hey. This guy is confused, Johnny. This guy is confused now. Stay right there. Stay right there.
Tony Ayala, whose voice you just heard, is the father of Tony Ayala Jr., an absolutely great middleweight prospect of a decade ago, sent up to jail 35 years on a rape charge, has 4 more years to serve.
Crowd chanting, Kevin, Kevin, Kevin. We told you there was a big contingent of Kelley fans here who've made the trip down from New York City.
Kelley's making a big mistake going forward without any head movement. He's going forward, he's not moving his head. Fakes his hands, but he don't fake his head. No head movement at all.
I'm not even sure it's the right thing to want to go forward all the time. Why wouldn't he want to mix it up a little bit against Benavides if he has an advantage in boxing skill?
It's the strangest thing I've seen, especially when you're the champ.
Well, remember, fellas, he's a full-grown, bigger featherweight, and he's fighting a smaller guy, and he thinks that he naturally should have an edge in power, an edge in ability to take a punch. It may not be.
That's exactly right. That's the missing element.
Kelley with a good short right hand inside. Stopped that Benavides flurry.
Kelley's moving from side to side as he delivers punches, and he's going to the body, which is what his corner told him to do earlier.
This has been a good round for Kevin Kelley. He's mixed in combinations well here and has dominated the action in round 6.
That right to the body a minute ago hurt. Too many more of those, and we'll see a knockdown.
Benavides lashes off the ropes with a couple of punches, but for a moment there he was dormant after the right hand to the body that George talked about.
There's that straight left by Benavides, right on top of that laser shot.
Yeah. Chopping left hand over the top by Kelley. Again, a right to the body did some damage. Benavides backing up. They trade power shots at close range as round 6 comes to a close. We're halfway home. Next month, the return of Riddick Bowe, the former heavyweight champion's first fight since his stunning title defeat at the hands of Evander Holyfield last November. Don't miss the comeback. Riddick Bowe against Buster Mathis Jr. Saturday, June 11, live from Las Vegas on HBO.
Long deep breath, Papa. Long deep breath. No traes nada, está echado. No traes nada, es un scratch nomás. Okay. Lean over. Okay.
What am I telling you? Stay in my spot and punch. Okay? And move that head. We back the enemy up. We don't back up for the enemy. You got me? Got you. Look at my eyes. I'm with you, Phil. Cheer up for me now. Tony, I'm ready. I want that speed, guy.
Cheer it up again.
I want that speed. I want that speed, and I want that Kelley brain and that mentality.
How do you feel, bro?
Benavides is extremely tough, an extremely well-schooled fighter. Not easy for Kevin Kelley, no matter what the result is.
Sometimes when you're training and everybody's telling you, you're fighting a small guy. This guy's nothing. The fight goes and you get knocked down, you still don't know how to back away from this guy. He's not that small after all in his fist.
Kelley with a long layoff for him following the title bout against Vargas last December. This is his first time in the ring since then. He had been accustomed to fighting once or twice a month during his long, steady progress under the Madison Square Garden aegis. Benavides has fought sparingly in recent years. He says he'd like to close down shop in a couple of years and go to college.
Maybe politics.
Yeah, said he might run for office in your state, Texas, George. Maybe you can be a local campaign manager for him.
I could do it, no doubt about it.
Short right hand inside by Kelley, landed flush. Now he drives Benavides into the corner again with body punching.
Right in his face, his corner told him, and it seems that's what he's doing. He's staying right in Benavides' face. Kelley is being an aggressor, and it's starting to work out for him a little better now.
Kevin landing a lot of punches these last couple rounds. Benavides' face beginning to show the effects. In case you've just joined us, we're in the 7th round of the WBC World Featherweight Championship fight. 1 minute to go in the round. Kevin Kelley, the champion in the green trunks, fighting Jesse Benavides, an outstanding amateur fighter and a good pro who's never held a world title. He's in the yellow trunks. Benavides knocked Kelley down in the 2nd round of this fight. But in terms of number of punches thrown and number of punches landed, it's been mostly Kelley. Now here comes Benavides again with some body punching of his own. Short left hands turn things around for Kelley. He pins Benavides against the ropes. Good fight through 7 rounds. Both men having their moments. Kevin Kelley having just a few more of them than Jesse Benavides.
Benavides is finding it very hot in Kelley's kitchen, but he stays right in it.
I'm waiting for you to sit.
Forget about everybody out
You
there.
have to knock him out. You're doing fine. Now you're in your mode.
Harold Letterman, 7 rounds, your score.
Larry, 69, 64, 6 rounds to 1. Kevin Kelley. Larry, take a look at Jesse Benavides' mouth for the past 3 rounds. It's wide open. He's breathing really, really hard. He looks tired. Kevin Kelley's leaning on him and backing him up constantly. It's effective aggressiveness, busier, cleaner punching by Kevin Kelley. When a guy's tired, he can't fight.
I have it 5 rounds to 2. I thought that Benavides won the 5th round.
Lo que pasa es que estás brincando mucho, no brinques mucho. Quédate cortito que así nada. Once you first, it's right here, izquierda y luego el hook. You got one to the body, and then come with that fast hook to the head. Keep your hands up, you got me? Gotcha. Okay? And we don't want one in his face.
Round 8 of the scheduled 12. Referee Tony Perez signaling the 2 fighters towards the center of the ring. Perez has been out of sight and out of mind in this fight. You look in the background just behind the fighters there. Slipping out of the right side of your screen, the new WBA and IBF World Heavyweight Champion in the shiny shades, Michael Moorer. Here to watch Lennox Lewis later on tonight. Much of the boxing world hoping that the two can get together at some point for a title unification bout.
Kelley is catching the straight lefts all night. The hooks, the right hooks are missing him all night. Tells you something.
Tells you what?
He hasn't prepared properly for this fight. Win, lose, or draw, you got to prepare if you want to keep yourself unhurt in this business.
They trade punches in the center of the ring. Benavides matching his strength against Kelley's quickness.
In the heavyweight, sometimes you make up for mistakes because you get a knockout as a treat. But in the lighter weights, the knockouts don't come. Round after round, you keep getting hit with the same shots.
Landing as they trade punches again. Chest to chest. Not the kind of fight you would have expected to see from Kevin Kelley, but he has chosen to do it. Almost certainly because, as Larry Merchant said, he thinks of himself as the bigger and stronger man.
Correct. Kelley's throwing good body punches, real clean.
You think he's won this round with body punching, George?
He's
keeping him in this fight. You would think that Benavides would back away to get some living room, but he still wants to stay in the kitchen.
Why? Come on. Let me get away. Take this. Get it out. You're drying him out. You're looking for the knockout, that's why. What got us here, Kelley? Can't speed, okay? Speed.
Still to come, WBC World Heavyweight Championship fight. There is the other heavyweight champion, Lennox Lewis, the man who inherited the WBC Championship belt when Riddick Bowe dumped it into a garbage can in December of 1992, rather than to honor the WBC's mandate that he fight #1 contender Lennox Lewis. This was shortly after Bowe's unanimous decision victory over Evander Holyfield and Lewis's knockout of Razor Ruddock in the second round 2 weeks before.
George, I saw Lennox Lewis sleeping, literally sleeping, about an hour and 15 minutes ago in his dressing room. Did you sleep before you went out on stage?
Oh, I've had too much fear. Those are your tense moments, even more so than entering in the ring. That dressing room is the scariest place in the world.
And Lennox Lewis now says, incidentally, that one of his big mistakes against Frank Bruno last fall in Cardiff, Wales, was that he didn't warm up properly in his dressing room. So we'll see if he's a little more active tonight. Solid left hand over the top by Benavides. George, you said it would be there all night. Kelley seems to be a little bit wobbly again as Benavides steps in and tries to finish. A lot of hard, clean shots being landed by both fighters here. Benavides's appear to have the greater effect.
He's really being smart. Waited this guy out, had the stuff wide open for a knockout. Kelley didn't take advantage of it. Then why not go for a knockout yourself? Kelley went to sleep. Now Kelley is trying to fight only because his opponent is initiating the fight. It's the wrong time to fight. You pick the fight when you want to.
Benavides talking to Kelley in there now. No doubt telling him that his punch can't crack an egg. Kelley remembering to go back to the body for the moment. But he's taken a lot of punishment in this round as Benavides started by landing that overhand left over the top.
It's been working for him all night, so he takes a break. Let Kelley waste some punches and come back. You can clip him again.
At about this point, about 2 weeks ago in Las Vegas, when exertion caused Junior Jones to begin to cave in and gave the opportunity to John Michael Johnson, Benavides' stablemate, to go ahead and take him out of there.
Kelley had talked all week about going inside those wide punches of Benavides. He's not doing as much. He's getting a little wide himself.
Good point, George. Kevin's punch is not short, straight, and inside the way he predicted, but winging some shots, particularly here in round number 9. Round 9, the best one in a while for Jesse Benavides, but Kelley got in some shots too.
Sit down, back, I'm working. Okay? Watch that work. Ahí va. Chucho, come on, baby. Come on, baby. 9 minutes to go, JB. 9 minutes to go, mijo. Agarra aire, agarra aire. Agarra aire, mi Chucho, vámonos. Ahí sí, papá. Deep breath, deep breath. Chucho, la doble derecha. Double right, no traes nada, you're not even marked, man. You just got a few squares, that's all. Okay, let's go.
Here you watch Benavides watch him work against the rope. Beautiful combinations. Body, head, back down to the body, back up to the head.
Seconds out.
He is a fighter.
Tenth round for Jesse Benavides and Kevin Kelley, and you can see that Benavides is the more experienced fighter going into the deep water of late rounds. 12 times in his career as opposed to only 6 for Kevin Kelley.
All right, break. Don't lose. Don't lose.
Right back. Vamos, heavy, Chucho. Come on. Okay, that's it. Put it on.
Benavides believe that if you hang on tough, the fighters from the East Coast will wither. He's holding on, thinking that in the last couple of rounds he's going to drop this guy again for good.
Well, that's what worked for his buddy Bam Bam Johnson against Poison Junior Jones.
Kelley hasn't boxed all night. He goes straight in. What about the circling? jab and move to your left, jab, move to your right. He's just going straight forward, inviting these punches over the top.
Well, it's been 6 months since he fought, George, and his trainer, Bill Borges, said that he perfectly understood and accepted that Kevin would take part of that time to feed his public, make public appearances, do the kinds of things the champions feel themselves entitled to, but you just have a suspicion that the same commitment wasn't there in the gym as was the case before.
Yep, especially preparation. You got to know what your opponent is going to do to you, where your hands ought to be at all times. This didn't happen in this fight. There hasn't been a proper preparation, only physical training.
How about let's give Benavides some credit for what's happening in there, too.
A lot of credit, because his trainer is telling him what to do. Go on top. All night he's been successful with it. Why stop now?
Well, we're rapidly becoming big Tony Ayala Sr. fans as a trainer based on the work we've seen in the last couple of weeks.
You believe that? I'd like to have a trainer like that in my corner.
Maybe you can, George. You're still young.
The corner of my table.
Good, solid right-hand shot inside by Benavides.
And that punch hurt Kelley.
Jesse Benavides getting much busier now in rounds 9 and 10 than was the case through the middle portions of the bout.
When Kelley gets in close, he switches his legs up. Sometimes I'm not even sure if he knows where his legs are. He's not doing it as a strategy, but he's almost lost fighting a southpaw.
Again, the crowd chanting, Kevin, Kevin, Kevin. And Kelley, beginning to look a little bit weary himself, doesn't really deliver with a burst of energy. Goes back to the jab and takes the left hand over the top.
Ten rounds, Harold. How do you have it?
Larry, 8 rounds to 2, 98-92, a commanding 6-point lead for Kevin Kelley. I still believe that Jesse Benavides is a tired fighter. He's got his mouth wide open, breathing very, very hard. He can't sustain an attack. It's not good conditioning on Jesse Benavides' part, and I think that's what's killing him. Kevin Kelley's just not fighting him.
Well, I think Kelley has something to do with how Benavides feels about this and how long he can sustain an attack. I have it 7 rounds to 3.
Everything comes off the jab, Chicho. The guy's easy to jab. Look at, you got to slip punches, okay? What a minute. 6 more minutes, Chicho. 6 more minutes, Jesse. Seconds out. Got me? I want that kid. You know he's there. He wants to go.
Round 11 begins. Benavides with the hungrier look as he comes out of the corner. Would this be a good time, George, for Kevin to revert to his boxing style?
No. All night long, he's walked straight in, leaving himself wide open with this lazy jab. Why he hasn't boxed, I don't know, but he can establish and recommit himself to being a good boxer. He can pull this off a lot easier than what he's doing now. His jab is effective whenever he uses it.
Kelley landing the jab over the top, leaping a little bit. Benavides punching more sparingly now than he did in rounds 9 and 10.
Okay. Break! Break.
Kelley, cross now.
Benavides not throwing punches, giving Kelley a chance to set up and throw combinations.
Sometimes if Kelley's going to keep leaving that right hand down, he should put his left hand on his right shoulder and just leave it there. Then that way, in case it's down, you'll have an automatic defense.
Another combination landed over the top for Kelley. Now he jabs to the body. Continues to stalk Benavides.
Oh, hold it, no punching, no punching.
Benavides tired, just as Harold Letterman suggested, grabs and holds for no particular reason. Less than a minute in round 11, and for the moment it looks as though Jesse Benavides may be trying to save it all up for one big push in the 12th. Crowd comes alive a little, sensing that Kelley has a modicum of control here and hoping he'll do something with it. Short left hand lands inside.
A lead left hand, which is unusual. Southpaw doing that to a southpaw by Kelley. You got to keep your head moving at all times. You just can't go forward moving your hand.
With his head still, Kelley took a right hand shot from Benavides. This round has been mostly Kevin Kelley, as Jesse Benavides has suddenly gone dormant again.
Benavides' tank looks empty, and I don't see any cue in his corner.
Didn't think we'd be this far. Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. Yo, he's running, that's why. He's in. My left leg. He's trying to rest. Where? Left leg? Oh, yeah, one thing. He's going to try to rest this. It ain't gonna work. This is all second mother. That round gave me my one leg problem. It's looking almost cramped up. Yeah, put the ice pick. Listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm telling you.
Kelley, aguanta. El cuerpo. Chale aquí en el Chucho.
¿Dónde va tú? Come on, baby.
Jesse.
Right now, son. Me neither. Okay? Kelley. Take it.
You know why? I tried too hard.
Come on, you're doing all right. Listen to Phil.
Go,
Kelley.
I tried too hard. He's going to come with help. Let's good luck. Now, I want one little keep. He's going to come with...
Nice big rep.
I got it.
Spin him 3, 4, 5, 6 punches.
Round 12 begins, and by punch stat numbers, Kevin Kelley doubled Jesse Benavides' punch output in round 11. So let's see if Benavides was able to store up some energy for a 12th round rally. And now, Tony Ayala Sr. with a final word to Jesse Benavides as Tony Perez temporarily holds Kevin Kelley off. Not sure what that was all about.
It was a belatedly he put his mouthpiece in.
Kevin Kelley he's got to be careful now. This is it.
Good short right hand inside for Kelley as Benavides came in. Now, Kevin lands another leaping right as Jesse backs up. So the first flurry of the 12th round belongs to Kelley. Now let's see if Benavides is playing possum and inviting Kelley to come in and be aggressive again in the hopes of getting off that one clean shot.
That's what he's doing. His corner believes in traps, and if it takes the 12th round, he'll go for another trap.
Well, he's getting what he wants from Kelley because Kevin is extending his arms and throwing long looping shots here. If Benavides can step up and land one good one, he may turn the tide. Kelley with a hard left hand.
Those are the combinations the crowd has been expecting to see from Kelley all night.
Benavides tried for the right and missed. Kevin Kelley punishes him with 5 or 6 punches in a row.
Benavides has been a boxer since he was 10 years old, 10 years as a pro. He's never had a job. He's made a living as a boxer. Says he wants to go to college, and right now he looks like he's close to matriculating because he can't compete on this level, it appears, despite a very, very good effort.
Kelley dominating the 12th so far. More energy, faster hands. Much bigger connect percentage than Jesse Benavides.
It's a mark of a good fighter. You're ahead on point, you know you're ahead, but yet you keep fighting.
This has been the best round of the bout so far for Kevin Kelley. Benavides tries the left over the top. It was just a little short. 20 more seconds for Jesse Benavides to try for the miracle knockout. Kelley doing most of the scoring as the 12th round winds down. WBC featherweight title on the line, and the champion tries to finish with
Champion of the world.
pretty good, tough fight. A disciplined effort by Jesse Benavides, who clearly had a plan and came close in the second round to getting it to work like a charm. How'd you see it, George?
The thing about having those flash knockdowns, and you prepare for them all week, knock the guy down without him expecting it, you got to have the gas in the tank to finish these fellas off. But sometimes that's the only thing you don't concentrate on.
How's this for gas in the tank, George? Kevin Kelley threw 95 punches in the 12th round.
That was some energy.
Benavides was able to throw only 34 and land only 7. So the 12th round dominated by Kevin Kelley, and that may have eliminated any lingering doubt as to who's most likely to get the decision here. Kevin puts the sweatshirt back over his head that has pictures of all 4 of his children. Jesse Benavides himself has 2 children, one of them a 3-year-old son of whom he has custody. We asked him if he had any hobbies, and he said, I have a 3-year-old son. I don't have much time for hobbies.
Now, children will do it.
Maybe he could learn to chase cows like you, George. I understand you've been chasing cows the last couple of weeks. Final punch stat numbers, and you can see that Kelley threw 124 more punches, or check it, landed 124 more punches, and threw 303 more punches by punch stat numbers. Identical percentages, but a much bigger output for Kelley. Jab numbers, and you can see that Kelley was a little bit more active and more dominant there as well, according to punch stat numbers. And now let's go up to Michael Buffer for the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Horacio Castilla scores the bout 116 to 112. Shafiq Rashada scores it 116 to 111. And Judge Bullner scores it 117 to 111 for the winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated WBC featherweight champion of the world, the Flushing Flash, Kevin Kelley.
So Kelley gets the unanimous decision by scoring numbers very similar to those you saw earlier from our Harold Letterman here at ringside. And Larry Merchant stands by with the winner.
All right, Kevin, got a little bit of a surprise in the second round. We're going to show it to you. What happened? Did he lay a trap for you and spring it?
It was basically that I was too tight for this fight, and I was underestimating his punching power. And like I said, there, like the Vargas fight, I just caught my leg underneath me. It wasn't really the punch that knocked me down. It was just that my leg was out of position to punch. And when he hit me, I just fell off balance, basically. It wasn't that punch that knocked me down. I was more off balance than I was because I was trying to get my footing right, and my legs started cramping up late 11th and 12th round. And I tell you, I got to give a lot of credit to the guys that gave me work back at home, like Kevin Marston and Danny Acevedo. And
well, what about Benavides? Was he more moving up from bantamweight? Was he more than you expected? Were you as ready after a long layoff?
Well, the layoff did hurt me a little bit. I did feel it in there. You can see my reaction time was a lot slower than it should have been. And I was still picking up the pace. My strength was there. People expect to see the Goya Vargas fight every time they see me. You can't see the Goya Vargas fight unless Kevin Kelley's fighting Goya Vargas. I was fighting another slick lefty that could box, he could stick, he could move. I have a great chin. You can see, it's just that I'm off balance sometimes because my footing, I'm so fast, my brain is moving twice as fast as my hand and my feet are. So it's like sometimes my legs get crossed, I get hit with a punch, and I'm trying to still position myself while I'm falling down. So it happens in the gym sometimes.
Okay, in other words, a good bullfighter needs a good bow. Congratulations, Kevin. Back to ringside.
The man who calls himself the children's champion, Kevin Kelley, he says that his brain was moving twice as fast as his hands and his feet. His mouth moves about 3 times as fast as his brain, so that's real speed. George, if I'm his manager, I get him back in the ring as fast as possible.
not only that, but properly prepare these guys for these fighters. It's not that much of a mystery that what a guy's going to do to you. You got to be prepared in this weight.
All right, so maybe Kevin Kelley learns a lesson or two en route to a unanimous decision victory in defeat.